Good morning, CREST online training teachers. Welcome to CREST Part 2 Revising Lesson 2, where we start at the bottom of what we're going to call the revising ladder, the bottom of the arm, where we only look at a word and its meaning based on the context of one sentence or paragraph, and we'll remove the word because it's too vague, and we'll replace it. We'll eliminate something and replace it, remove and replace it with something that's more specific. So the question we're going to look at is part of a practice test that's inside your binder. And I made it because in 2018, the fourth grade revising test was the most difficult one that I feel the state has ever given in terms of the difficulty level of the questions. There were too many questions that were asking not about just a sentence, a transition, a word, or a phrase, but there were questions that were asking about an entire paragraph, how a sentence fit in an entire paragraph, or an entire central controlling idea, thesis, or of a passage. So if you teach students anywhere from 3rd through 8th grade, because the tests will no longer be used, I would recommend you use all of the old editing and revising tests from all of the years in 4th grade for 3rd, 4th, and 5th, for 7th grade for 5th, 6th, and 7th, and the 9th and 10th grade ones for 8th, 9th, and 10th grade, because all of you are going to be getting 2 revising passages. The content, the structure has not changed. All they're going to be doing is having some 1-point questions on revising using constructed responses. That's the only thing that's going to be different. The 10 or 11 different ways they can ask a question in a non-multiple choice format, but 75% of the questions are still going to be regular multiple choice. So as I mentioned to my teacher friends at La Sara on Friday, don't spend 75% of your time doing something that's only 25% of the test. Still focus heavily on multiple choice. So we're going to take a look at our question for today. And again, this is not the actual 2018 test question, but I made a mini-me of my own based on a passage, 2 passages. Basically, I kind of merged all of the question difficulty levels. And to be honest, there were only 2 easier questions in the entire 2 passages. And they were basically the ones that you can see here on the left. Question number 2 and question number 3 were the ones that were basically difficult to comprehend. So let's take a look at these, shall we? Number 3, where you start at the bottom, where they're only asking you a question about 1 word. Read, underline, label, eliminate 3, explain, and select 1. So when we begin, the word select is not the right word for sentence 10. So all we have to do is read that word in the context of one sentence. Which word would best replace select? And I want to remind you that I'm going to underline this twice. Whenever you see the word best, it usually means there's a pretty strong distractor that it's possible your students could pick by accident. In this sentence, and be more specific to the content of the paragraph. So what are they saying? Let's get rid of the idea that's more vague and replace it with one that's more specific. Notice they didn't use the word substitute. 63% of the kids in Texas got it wrong. So this is the only question in the entire 8 questions from 4th grade, the one that was like it, where they asked the kids to choose the best word choice for the context of a sentence. So pick, tell, prioritize, and purchase. So when we look over here to the right, and I believe that you can see, hopefully you can see, I see it's lit up. So let me go ahead and stop sharing. Select in sentence 10. I'll share my screen, just the graphic organizer. Minimize this one so you can see this one a little better. And I'll make sure it's large enough so that you can see it well. There we go. Okay, so it said that the word select was too vague. So we're going to write here question number 3. Select being too vague. And so on the other side, we've got to check the context, and we're gonna take a look and see, okay, A, B, C, and D. And I just want to double check. I want to make sure I write down the right words. Let me look at the test real quickly. Pick, tell, prioritize, and purchase. So not sure if you can even see that or not, but I just wanted to make sure I put the right words. Pick, tell, prioritize, and purchase. All right. So we have here select this one. I've already put in there. Why it's not letting me annotate there. Clear my drawings. Okay. Let's try this again. Select is going to be eliminated. It was question number 3. And it said, double check one more time. Pick, tell, prioritize, and purchase. A. A is going to be pick. B, tell. C, prioritize. And D, purchase. So before we even get into the sentence that we're going to look at based on sentence 10, specific to sentence 10, and again, I'll double check. Don't want to steer you guys wrong here. That does say sentence 10. So we're going to go look at sentence 10. This is again how I would teach you if you have kids who struggle, then don't have them read the entire passage, especially like one like this, the most difficult one that ever existed. Sentence number 10. And so what you can say is, okay, let's just look at it on its own. If I select something, yes, I'm going to pick it. I want to select, I have to be able to tell which one I'm going to select. If I prioritize, it doesn't sound like select. But we haven't seen it in context. If I select something, yes, I'll purchase something when I go to a store. So when we look at those four, we have to compare it to sentence 10 and see which one, pick, tell, prioritize, or purchase, fits the best with exactly what our answer choice was. So let me minimize the graphic organizer and maximize the question that we were looking at. Make sure, there it is. So it said pick, tell, prioritize, or purchase. So based on the context of sentence 10, here we go. Let's get it larger so y'all can see very well. Around for sentence 10. There it is. I'll annotate one more time. And we're only asking about sentence 10. So you can have your kids either note take on their online test or on paper. They can write out sentence 10 and they can remember, okay, this is about question number 3. So where's the word select? There it is. You got to decide how to use this in context where we don't change the meaning or the content. Capital, this is where parents should step up and teach their children how to select, right? So we're going to be selecting something. When it's okay to relax and when it's time to concentrate on other tasks. So they're comparing and contrasting. Here's the two different things. And so when it's okay to relax, I'll continue there. And then this is your transition word. And when it's time to concentrate on other tasks they need to do. So it's focusing on things that need to get done. And I've got to pick one of those. When should I just relax? And when should I pick things that I need to do? How do I decide which one's okay, which one's more important? So when we scroll back to the answer choices, you'll be able to see that it'll become pretty obvious if you actually read it in context like you're supposed to. Number 3. So if I say I have to be able to pick when should I relax and when should I concentrate on important tasks. Well, since pick in this case sounds too much like select, it would make sense to eliminate it because all I was doing was changing a vague answer to another vague answer. So let me click my text button and I'll say, I'm going to eliminate that one because it's too vague. We have to be able to pick when to tell when it's more important to relax or when we should focus on other things. To tell for the very same reasons that letter A is too vague, letter B would be too vague too, so it would make the most sense to eliminate it. When I prioritize, the root word of prioritize is priority. And so if you make something a priority, if your kids ever go to the post office and they say, I want to send this a priority mail, it means you make it more important. And we remember discussing what's more important, relaxing or focusing on other tasks. So whatever you prioritize, whatever you make important. So if I use it in context of my life, I say, I need to prioritize my family over my job. I need to prioritize my family over my hobbies, my things that I like to do in my free time. So when I test that one, I was like, that sounds pretty good. So I'm gonna maybe keep that one because it sounds like trying to decide this specific key, which is more important. Okay. I guess since we got a model good grammar skills, we'll start with a capital. So when you select something, you buy something, let's see it in context. We have to be able to select when I should relax. Sorry, we should be able to purchase when I should relax and when I should concentrate on other tasks. So yes, select is similar to purchase, but select could not be substituted or removed for purchase in this case because nothing was being bought, nothing was being sold. We were trying to make a decision based on which is more important. So the answer choice D wouldn't make this most sense. And so that's the basics. And because the students only had to read one sentence, that's why 63% of the kids in Texas got it correct. But still, to me, that's less than 2/3 of the kids. That means that less than 2 out of every 3 kids got the answer correct. So since this was the most difficult test, even if you teach higher than 5th grade, I have the actual 2018. I think I saved almost all of the release tests. So they will be in what they call the archives of writing on TEA. If you are watching this in our CREST training and you wanted to be able to get some resources, I would suggest that you go back there to the archives. And as I mentioned, if you teach from 1st through 4th grade, then go ahead and look at any of the 4th grade tests. You teach 5th to 7th grade, look at the 7th grade revising tests. 8th, 9th, and 10th, look at the 9th and 10th grade. Now, as a challenge, if you have 7th graders, 9th graders, or 10th graders functioning behind grade level, then I would suggest to get them used to the structure of revising and improving content. It's all the same. It's just done on a higher level in middle school and high school. I would highly suggest you challenge your kids as soon as possible with that 2018 actual revising test, or give them mine because I made my questions just as rigorous as the one on the test. So good luck. God bless. If you have any questions, please message me or email me. Little by little, you'll be seeing how to use every single document that I sent you in real practical ways. And hopefully you'll see how student friendly they are over time. Uh, I would say that your challenge could be the word prioritize. If you, instead of just eliminating and explaining why we chose prioritize, I would love to know 5 things. What is your priority in terms of the top 5 decisions, the top 5 priorities in terms of activities, functions, things that you think are important in your life? And you can just be vague and talk about family, friends, church, or I would love to be more specific. What actual activities with family, friends, church, sports do you like? So that's your challenge today for between 5 and 10 points. Just do these sometime during the summer before summer's up, and then you will get credit. You'll get points for our raffles at the end. Take care. God bless. Hope to hear from you soon.